councilmen and councilman that are here. We will go ahead.
Here, do you want, how do you want to?
Yeah, let's just, we'll just state your name and you're present.
Don Busenbark, present.
Rowdy Cloward, present.
Will Hancock, present.
Audrey Goodrich, present.
Cody Allen, present.
And I am Tommy Olson. And with that, I have asked Councilman Busenbark to lead us in word of prayer.
Our Heavenly Father, we're grateful to be gathered together as citizens of Roosevelt City and members of the United States. We're grateful for this country we live in. We're especially grateful for this city that we enjoy so much. We're grateful to the people here, their willingness to serve and thrive in this community, and hope and pray as councilmen and women that we can make those decisions that will benefit this community, help them to continue to thrive and grow. We're grateful for those that serve us in this community, and police and fire and EMTs and others, as well as those in the military, and ask you for thy blessings upon them. We're grateful for their service and hope and pray that we'll watch over and protect them. Again, we're grateful to thee, and we say this in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Alan, I had asked you to lead us in the pledge, but can I ask our veterans tonight to lead us in the pledge? Would that be all right?
Want me
Lead
to?
us in the pledge?
Sure. No problem.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And with that, we'll start off with approval of minutes from last meeting.
Mayor, I'd move to approve.
And I'll second it.
Can I have a motion and a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good. All right, this is an opportunity for the public to come forward. We have 15 minutes scheduled for public comment. If anyone would like to comment, you have 3 minutes per person, for a total of 15 minutes.
All right, I'm Cammy Catholic, like I should say I'm present as well. You guys all did, present. I just wanted to bring to attention, we sent an email in to City Council, I think earlier last week, about a possible natural playground at the nature park. Right now, there are currently a lot of logs right across the street from the cemetery, and there's been a lot of interest in them, and we would like those logs to be used at the nature park. So we sent the email, we just wanted to come, there's a lot of moms, we did a survey. We just want to show our faces and show that there is interest. And then we've never done this before, so I don't know what the next steps are. Do we continue to send emails? Do we, we don't really know what to do. We just wanted to bring it to attention. I have the presentation here, and I don't know if you guys need to see pictures. I also sent the email to City Council. But yeah, it's just a natural playground, so everything would be made with logs and things like that. So something that would save the city money, but it would still have liability and things. And then we have 4 things here that we thought would be important to achieve the goal, which was the logs, which we were really excited about because that is hard to find and come by that many. And then to note that there are a lot of people who have volunteered to do this. And then also we know that there's liability that comes with anything like this. So that's basically it. Are we supposed to do anything else? Is that something you guys give us comment on, or is that just, we just bring it to your attention?
I'm glad you were here. We've talked about this, and you actually do have first priority on those logs.
Oh, that's great.
And then at that point, whatever you don't use, we thought the Thompson House of Hope would come in and they could use that to chop up and then donate as firewood.
Right.
Is that, Mayor, excuse me, is that different than the Teddy's Playground that didn't they want some logs for that as well?
They already took those for them.
Did they get what they needed for that? Are you aware?
I don't think it's different, yeah.
I don't think they have, and I know that was also an earmark, so I'm hesitant to say that they're on the list when we need to give more information.
I mean, if I may ask, are you working with Preston Catholic on this?
He's my husband.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear you asking. Okay, so yes, we have been in touch with him, so.
Right,
These are the ones that we are working with Teddy's Playground and the nature park,
Okay.
so
Right.
yes.
Just
At
wanted
least
to
on the same
clarify that.
page.
Thank
right,
you.
great, that's what we wanted, just make sure everyone is aware and that we want this to happen and excited about it, so.
That was easier than you thought.
Yeah,
wasn't
that was great. Thank you.
Well, is there anything we can, like, we need to do?
Yeah. Are we supposed to
Like, keep it going?
Use it all in your court, just.
How do we want to go about doing that?
Yeah, at this point, let's just set up a meeting with Dustin, he oversees the park, and with Preston, with you guys, and
Right.
yeah, we can get this going, because Teddy's Playground, the Arts Park and Rec takes a lead there. But with the nature park, let's make sure Dustin, but yeah, we can get the ball rolling. I'm sure also we have to get those logs out at the cemetery as well, so.
That'd be awesome.
And I actually talked to Preston today, and so we've started getting the plan moving, so, yeah, he with me.
Thank you.
Did you want 3 minutes as
No,
well?
I don't want 3 minutes.
Did anyone else? Anyone else as far as the 3 minutes public comment? Okay, I'm gonna move on. Committee appointments.
Mayor, I don't have any, but I was checking, do we have someone else on the cemetery committee besides myself from the council or someone that wants to? Because we don't, from the city council, we need another person to help with the cemetery.
I think committee appointments was gonna come, and council appointments as well as coming up at the work session, the first session.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you for that, Sarah. I couldn't remember what the plan was.
First session in March will be addressed.
Okay.
I'm happy to help you out, Don, when it comes to that discussion.
You gonna help dig the grave for me, or?
Whatever.
Since I'm the old
You don't want to use the
timer.
backhoe.
Yeah, I would recommend a backhoe.
Hey, you can't leave. Get him back in here. Okay, any other, we'll talk about that in our next work session. Okay. All right, let's move on to our action items then. And I will turn the time over to,
Public hearing
Public
first.
hearing number 7.
oh, sorry. Yep, I crossed that off. Actually, public hearings, and I'll turn the time over to Mr. Butterfield.
Evening, Mayor, Council. My name is Edwin Butterfield. I'm the Roosevelt City Rec Director. I'm bringing to you guys today in the public hearing to go over the cart lease for the golf course. This is something that Aaron Brown actually has started up last year in September. The council then did approve a vendor in order to get these golf carts. What I'm bringing up here is now the financial side from Zions paying for the lease, which is a 5-year lease here. What this would entail is it would be, for the fiscal impact, it would be $67,140 that would be paid annually for 5 years. The next payment would be due in February in 2027. I say that because Aaron did pay year 1 on this back in September. With that there, something to note on a couple of these things. We have paid previously for the last cart lease, it was $55,400. Just as a side note, I didn't have this included, this information I'm mentioning. And that was for 15 less carts than what we're getting this year. So with the items to keep in mind that, everything seems to be going up, as well as an additional 15 carts, and they're gonna have cart control on it. We're looking to try to see if we can find better ways to keep our carts in control on that course, so we have better maintenance, better upkeep. That's the reason for that increase right there. And something else to note too is that with the cart rental fees, we have currently in this fiscal year collected around $80,000 just for this fiscal year, and that's not equating the spring and the beginning of summer. Kyle has mentioned to me, our pro shop manager, that we have collected a little under $200,000 this last calendar year right there. So, bringing this to your attention at this point. So,
How many total was that then?
60 carts total is what we're looking for the lease.
Didn't these have GPS of some kind on them as well?
Yes.
It's a locator of some kind?
And that's what part of the car control there,
Right.
yes. They'll have a geofencing available that they're gonna put parameters on to keep better tabs on them.
With these extra carts, does that allow us not to have to rent the carts for tournaments and stuff? Does that give us enough for everything? Because the previous years, we've had to rent extra carts for tournaments, I believe, right?
Okay, and that is a good question on
Yeah.
that side.
So we had 45 carts and we rented 10 carts per year. To bring in for tournaments, so we'd be up to 60 to kind of help alleviate the tournament.
So that should probably take care of some of that.
Yeah, and we were renting the 10 carts per year at $10,000 per year, so we were on top of our lease paying $10,000 on top.
Okay.
Does that GPS capability, does that come out of the
Come
intercom
up
that
here.
they
So that way we could have you introduce the public in.
Yeah.
So right now, we're, with this lease, it comes with one model. The one model is geofencing, which helps prevent driving carts in certain areas where we don't want them to drive. That could include off the golf course as well. And including some areas that we might be treating or areas that are more valuable. There are some additional models that we're currently demoing, which is car tracking. As you know, most software companies, they like to spread all their models apart, try to get you to buy a few more. So right now we're in the demo phase for the other ones. And so the car tracking is not involved in this initial proposal as of right now.
So no like intercom where you can ping a car to say, hey, it's sunsetting, and come in.
Not in this lease in the current model, but I am demoing that for an additional fee. Right now it'd be $240 per cart to have the other model, which I am strongly, in the demo phase, I'm loving it. You'd be able to message them directly. You're also able to see how long the carts are out there, where they're at, and how long they've been out there. So if you have people that paid for 9 holes and it says that cart's been out there for 6 hours, then obviously they haven't paid for 9. And then as well as maintenance with the carts, the other feature in the other module that's coming up is actual timeline of how long that cart's been out there for this week. So we can see that this cart hasn't been used. So maintenance wise, we can start making sure that we're fluctuating carts better. So it's a really cool system and really good benefit for the city to have this lease.
With the fencing that's on there, are you able to adjust that, or is that adjusted by the company, or
It's something that I'm able to
that you're able to adjust?
Are 60 carts enough for a tournament?
The only tournament that is not enough for is API.
Which is 72 carts, I'm assuming?
Yeah, because they have 5 players per team, so they need 3 carts per team, so 30.
Oh, yeah, a lot more than 72 then.
Yeah.
A and B flights.
Another thing to note too on the financial side is that there is a couple lines that you guys have noticed on the yearly part on the end of the contract that it does balloon a bit on year 6. It is a 5-year lease, and so with that we can and we plan to send the carts back and before that 6th year begins. So then we're not going to get that balloon effect for that higher amount on that 6th year. So something else to note there. It would essentially save us money if selling back the cars to a face value then. So.
Okay. Any other questions?
I noticed a public hearing due.
We haven't entered the public hearing yet.
I know we haven't. I'm just wondering why we're
The purpose of the public hearing is for the resolution. So everything that's financial has been approved, we just need a public hearing to approve the resolution in here, so that's the purpose of that.
Okay.
I was about to ask for a motion.
Yeah, I'll move that we go into public hearing to do the resolution for the golf carts at the golf course.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second to move into a public hearing for the golf course 5-year car lease. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Now, who do you want me to turn that back to?
Just put it to the public.
Okay. Do we have any public hearing? Any comments on the public hearing? You explained it so well that.
Seeing none, Mayor, I'd move we go back to regular session.
Can I have a motion to move back to the session from our public hearing?
I'll second.
I have a second by Cody. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
So I would move then we approve the resolution presented by Edwin Butterfield for the golf cart lease.
I'll second that.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve the golf course 5-year cart lease, as explained by Edwin Butterfield. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion approved.
That's something for you, Mayor, if I may. Here's the contract package, so you get a second, those are, that one, the signature.
And with that, I would like to turn the time over to the Roosevelt Veterans Memorial proposal. Dan Karen, Gary Rohr, and Mayor Bird, are you coming up as well? No?
He's our spokesman.
Okay.
They threw you under the bus.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, council people, for hearing us out this evening. I'm Dan Karen. We're hoping the third time's a charm. 2012 and 2013, we started the process of trying to get a Veterans Memorial down by the cemetery in that circular area there, in the rest area. And 2015 hit, and we know what that did to our economy here, so we kind of backed off. We fired up again a few years later, and then COVID hit, so we didn't get it down there either. So we're back. We're hoping the third time's the charm. Gary being Navy and me being Army, he says, Army guys talk too much, so try to keep it to an hour and a half. We've done a little research to start with. Thanks for all the cooperation and getting a silhouette on the hill up by the flag. That was enjoyable to be a part of that. I think it's a good addition to our town. That kind of got us in the mood to try to get this going again. What we have done as far as citizens is we've got some names we'd like to present this evening, just to maybe consider as a committee to head this up. The names I'd like to present to the council are Clay Miller, Ben Allred, J.R. Bird, Gary Rohr, myself, Dan Karen, and Don Goosenbark, the city councilman, so we have that connection. We realize that if we can pull this off, that we'll be dealing a lot with probably Ryan again, dealing with projects. But what we've done, I attended a Veterans Memorial fundraiser in Wyoming 2 years ago in a little town called Glen Rock. My niece is involved with that. It's just outside of Casper. It was $2 million plus what they wanted to do. So if we can secure a piece of military equipment and build our memorial around that, we can do it for a fraction of that cost. So why we're here tonight, not take up a lot of time. The first thing we need to do is get qualified from the military to get on the list to watch for equipment that comes up available. And part of that qualification is getting a sponsor who's going to run it. We started out with maybe the American Legion, and as we contacted people in the military, it's so much easier and so much more successful to do it as a city. And so that even being said, a copy of these minutes needs to go on that application to get us qualified. It's impossible to do this, I think, without the city's cooperation and without people in the community who are serious about fundraising, coordination, and as a team. Together, I think we can get it done. Step number 1, get qualified. Step number 2, select a piece of equipment as it comes available. It could take several months, it could take a few years to even get the equipment. As we choose a piece of equipment, then we could build the rest of the memorial around that piece of equipment so that we would know what we're dealing with and how we want to go about it. And each time, as we took it in steps, we'd have to meet, of course, as a committee and the city to say, okay, what's the expense? What's the maintenance ongoing? The piece of equipment will always belong to the military. We will be custodians over it, and that's, if you had an opportunity to read some of that. And so we're here tonight to try to see if the cities want to partner up and cooperate. And if it's something you're interested in, I think the silhouette on the hill set the stage kind of for something more. This will be 10 times, maybe 20 times more intensive, expense-wise, time-wise, and I would expect 2 to 3 years from the start to get it finished. It'll be at that level. But we want something that's gonna be affordable. We want something that the maintenance on it through the years is not gonna burden the city overly. And we want it to be something attractive that we can be proud of. And so I think as a committee and I think as a council, we can all reach those goals. And I think it'd be a great project to be a part of.
From my understanding, this, as far as the designated area, we have that in place, correct?
It was approved twice before, yes.
The old rest area that's not a rest area anymore.
The Blue Memorial, or the Blue,
It's right there.
Blue Star Memorial. Yeah.
Kind of in that circular area there,
Yeah,
right?
right
You're
there.
up there, Sierra with that picture.
And you should have the application, Dan brought these by, to me last week, and I had them put in the packet so you could see that. Are you guys, you and Gary filling these out and submitting them, or?
Well, that's,
That's,
the first part I'd like to say is to get qualified, and it's gonna be the city that's gonna have to, Don, that's the reason we asked you to be on the committee.
that's fine, I'm just
There has to be on that sheet all initials of stuff that's read and approved. We need a contact person, will most likely be somebody from the city.
right,
And basically, after we get the application in and we get qualified, all that is gonna amount to is watching for emails, watching for the equipment as it comes available. And we have to, as the equipment comes available, we have to respond within 30 days, or they will pass it. It goes to somewhere else. We'll have opportunity to pick up something. I think our odds are pretty good, depending on what we want. But due to the fact that we've not asked for anything before, it kind of elevates us up on the list. There's 2 things. Number 1, what you're asking for, and number 2, how long have you been on the waiting list to receive something?
Mr. Bake, would this be something under Dustin or Austin? What would you recommend?
I recommend this actually be under Ryan under special projects.
I'm just thinking for the maintenance after more so than the,
Yes, the maintenance afterwards would go to our parks.
okay. But Ryan would be involved in, so would we want Ryan then maybe to help with getting this filled out?
Yeah, I've got it noted down, the minutes and the application.
Okay, and
We get it to you or directly to them? How do you want
Probably just directly to them. We have the emails of the lady in Detroit,
it? Okay.
and she's the one that makes the decisions and gets us qualified.
so on the acknowledgement page, you said we should probably read through these and acknowledge that we're at least be aware. Huh?
That's what I was wondering, is that what you need on the minutes? You said you need to have these minutes submitted?
The way I understand it, Mo, is just the minutes, they want a copy of our minutes to know that we are approaching the city, and the city is on board, and it's just not a bunch of old gray-haired veterans that's going to pull a clip on here.
That's what I was wondering, I was thinking along the same lines as Don, is do we need to read these out and acknowledge them here in the meeting minutes?
I think that would be excessive in my, it's basically pretty simple,
Okay,
you know, it's, as far as the US government and the military goes, it's pretty simple in my opinion.
great.
I guess the follow-up question is the Army and the Navy guy gonna fight over what type of equipment?
He always wins.
We're getting a shift.
I'll openly say Gary's a great community member. He's great. I'm pretty sure he's a get things done, and he's always saying, "Come on, Army guy, let's go."
I would make a motion that we approve and that we have Ryan work on getting this application in as soon as possible, and let's get after it.
And I'll second that.
Okay, have a motion by Councilman Buzapar and a second by Councilman Goodrich to approve the Veterans Memorial proposal as stated by Dan Karen, Gary Rowan, and J.O. Berg, and Boozer Park. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Dan, before you sit down, I was just curious on the memorial plaque, where we are on that for the silhouette.
We're shooting, it will be up by Memorial Day, that was our goal last year. It's in the final design, you got to see the.
Yeah, Ryan's got it. Do any of the council want to see what it looks like?
I remember seeing it.
We've got copies here.
I got copies of all of the writing that's gonna be on as far as recognition and what's gonna be said. And then they're working on some military things to go around the outside edge, but.
The only thing I was concerned, I assume that's a draft, because when I looked at it, I was just concerned about margins, like at the bottom for those that it's kind of.
That's just a rough.
Right, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Because it looks great, other than.
We will you'll all have that in your hand before we give the final approval to get that recognition thing made.
And you'll have a price as well for us then?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, I just wanted to follow up on that.
I think you pretty well covered everything. We gotta have GPS of that too, the coordinates of that besides the minutes.
Okay.
Mayor, 8B is the same, I didn't realize 8A and 8B were the same, so you can mark 8B off. That was the same, I just wanted to make sure it was on, so.
Oh, okay.
So we're good on both counts, it's there twice in the agenda. So they should know we're serious about it if it's twice on the agenda, like we're definitely interested, so. Do you have what you need, Ryan?
Congratulations.
Yeah, I think we're good. It's actually in our master plan too, so I might just send that as well, so. At least we've been thinking about it as a city for quite some time, so.
I think that originally Russell Cowan was the mayor.
Right.
When he was a Vietnam vet. That's when we first got the idea, and then things, we've been tripped up a few times, but we won't get stopped this time.
Yeah, pretty good.
Appreciate all you guys do for the city.
Yeah, you do a lot of great things for the city, we appreciate it.
To all veterans, thank you for your service.
Yes.
Because we don't have an Air Force guy here, they talk a lot more.
Yeah.
No, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
We're ready to get the golf
I
course,
think
please.
that's awesome, thank you guys. We'll move on to 8C, which is the USU's 2026 Utah Wellbeing Survey participation. Josh.
Thank you, Mayor. So, council, you did get an email about this, and what it essentially is, there is a group through USU, they do a 2026 Utah Wellbeing Survey, where they come in, the only responsibility of the city is that we are in charge of advertising for it, they gather the data, and then they can send it back to us. So we're gonna have a conversation tonight to see if it's something we want to participate in. Again, there is no cost. One thing that we discussed as a staff and that we'd like to just put out there, this is a lot of information we could use for potential grants in the future. That talks about the wellness things that we've been doing in the city, for example, the outdoor rec grant. This might identify things that would help us as we make those applications going forward. And help us identify areas where we're lacking, and particularly areas in the city, whether it's location or types of wellness activities that we are lacking as well. I have reached out to a couple city managers that have done this, and they've had very good positive feedback. I've talked to them that's had a negative experience.
What kind of feedback are they getting? Like what kind of questions and?
I didn't get that information yet. At this point, I just reached out and I said, are there any red flags? Is there anything that you're concerned? No, Josh, it was great. We're glad that we did it.
They send out an email, do they send it in letters, like a QR code, a website?
Yeah, so in the email it talks about their USU team provides advertising materials, runs the survey, conducts analysis, provides reports, participating cities and towns. So really our job is just to help spread the information.
Okay.
But they'll provide all of it to us.
This was the email that I forwarded to everybody, and I'm not sure as far as what it's going to be in the packet or in the survey. Sometimes I'm a little weary of when they get an email like that and they want to give you all the information, but we do all the work for them, same process. So.
That is one of the questions that I did have. I wanted to make sure that this wasn't a private company coming in wanting to get all the data and they give us a little carrot. This is actually Utah State University, so that's where I felt a lot more comfortable with it being a governmental entity, one of our great universities in the state that's running the program, the survey.
I wouldn't see a downside with it as long as, it's obviously staff that's gonna be doing the distribution of the items, and so staff's fine with that, I don't think it's a bad idea.
Very minimal work.
Well, and it's voluntary, not everyone has to do it, it's just we're providing a place or the information, right? So they know where to do it or.
And any help we can get with grant money, I'm all for it.
Absolutely.
So do you need a motion to approve, to go forward?
Yeah, probably better if we do just.
I'll move that we go forward then.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion to approve the USU's 2026 Utah Wellbeing Survey participation. And second, any further discussion? Any other questions? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Unanimous. Okay, we'll move down to department updates.
And we do have Chief Lee here, but I do just want to introduce him because we have the greatest, the greatest fire chief in the entire country here tonight. And he's going to present some stats and stuff that our great fire department is doing. Chief.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Figured I'd have to introduce because there's 3 new ones. Josh took care of that. Before I get into the stats, we have 3 new firefighters that were put on about a month ago. So I invited them to come in tonight. I'm just going to let each of them come here, introduce themselves, what they do, and why they wanted to be a firefighter in certain city.
I'm Devin Anderson. I'm a software engineer. I sit behind a computer a lot. Don't get out of the house most days. I work from home. But I wanted to give back to Roosevelt. It's been a good community. I'm originally a Salt Lake guy, and got a little bit too crowded there for me. But my wife's family was from out here, and we were able to find a place and settle down and build a family. So I want it to continue to be a good place, and I'm working forward.
Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Rose.
Some of you probably know me from the shelter. I'm no longer there. I'm actually over at Kings Peak doing loans, so taking people's money. But really enjoy the people there. It's great job. But always been interested in the fire department. Just with managing the shelter, I knew I couldn't give it the time that it needed, and just kind of wanted to do something to help people and get back to the community.
Rose is awesome. She did a great job at the animal shelter, so we're glad you're still involved.
Yeah. It's like a cult. Come back one way or another.
We'll take it.
I'm Kyle Oldroyd. I grew up in Altamont, recently moved back to the basin and into Roosevelt. Growing up in a small town, I know you get out of a small town what you put into it. And I thought the fire service was an excellent opportunity to give to the community that is going to help me raise my family.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
They are currently working towards training certification. They've done their NIMS, which is National Incident Management System stuff, and then they're going to start on the wildland once they finish with that and go into the structural certification. So glad to have them on board. So we're here to present the statistics from 2025. And all of it's pretty self-explanatory. We will just kind of go through each page roughly and quickly, and if you have questions, go ahead and ask. If you'll notice on our first page there, once again, our highest call volume was in false alarms. A lot of those are CO alarms, smoke detectors going off, I don't know how many of you saw, Green Lake put together a little training on smoke detectors. You should be changing batteries. They all, when you pull them down, they all have an expiration date on them. And a lot of our calls, like either we go on when we take those detectors down and look at them, they've expired. And people don't realize that. So it's a little bit of education there too on our part, helping them. And we appreciate what Green Lake did and putting that information out there too to help the public.
Are you still getting a lot of repeat false alarm calls, or is that slowed down a little bit?
Yes.
Yes.
The city passed a thing 2 years ago that we bill for nuisance calls, and we still have those same ones. Dawn was asking me earlier, they pay the bill each year, they don't question it, they don't call the alarm company to get it fixed, so I guess if they're willing to
You gotta
pay
up it
us,
again?
we'll keep sending the bills. But yeah, we do have those same problems. Our next highest call volume there was on wildland calls. And those are all classified, if we go out and it's a foot by foot square piece of brush on fire, it's considered wildland. We have to call it into the fire center over in Bernal, and that's tracked on Utah Fire Info when they're looking at wildfire calls, acreage, all that kind of stuff that's happened. The rest of them, you can just kind of glance at there. One thing we try to point out each year, and our average response time stays pretty close to that, it's 15 minutes. That is from the time that our pagers go off until the truck is on scene. And the 15 minutes is to all the entities that we respond to. If you look down below, our city limit response time is 10 minutes. And that's pretty much where we've been for quite a few years, is 10 minutes response time in the city. If you consider most of us during the day are at a job, pager goes off, we've got to leave our job, get up here, get dressed, get in a truck, roll to the scene. 10 minutes is a pretty good response time, so appreciate our firefighters and their response there and what we do. We break down our man hours there, which we'll go over a little bit on another page, but I'll explain why we do that. But if you look at the bottom there, the average man hours per firefighter last year was 109 hours. So it's a lot of time that is volunteered, because that's what it is when we leave. Yes, we are paid volunteer because the city does give us a little bit of a stipend there, but it's a lot of volunteer hours that are put in for each of our firefighters. If we go to the next one.
Do those hours include the training?
No, that's just on fire calls.
Just fire calls.
Yeah, our trainings are twice a month, and those we track for the county, but we haven't really tracked them to put into our statistics. But those man hours are just on scene.
Okay.
At whatever the incident is. We keep track of the difference in each year so that you can kind of see what may or may not be happening. And as Don pointed out earlier to me, that our fire alarm calls was 70 last year and it's 70 again this year. So fairly consistent there. Some of the other changes there you can see. And then we keep track in each of those jurisdictions. And a lot of that is so that we're able to check when contract time comes around and see if there's some adjustments that need to be made in contracts based on how much time we're putting in out there.
I can't remember, Union County and Ballard are counted different, right? Or is that Union County?
Not anymore, they used to be.
Okay.
Ballard, as soon as we got a new contract with Union County, then they told Ballard to pay them and not us, and that was included into that contract.
Okay.
So we don't have a contract with Ballard right now.
So is the contract with them per call, or is it just a fee that they cover a
So
year?
the contract with Duchesne County and Uinta County is a set amount that they pay us each year.
No matter on the call?
Correct. And that's what I say, when the time comes to look at renewing a contract, then we can take the call volume, and this next page that we go to is our man hours. We can take that and say, okay, we need to make an adjustment here because of how much time we're spending over there. And when we break down the man hours, we do it that way because we may look at it and say, for example, Duchesne County, like turn the page there, had however many calls it was, but you look at the man hours, it was, last year was 1,094. So if we say, well, you only had 30 calls, and they think, well, okay, why are we paying you so much? But if we take the man hours and say, okay, this is why you're paying us, because those 30 calls, we spent this much time out there. Most of them were pretty close as far as Duchesne County, Uinta County, and the city this past year, as far as man hours. A lot of that big one last year was because we had big draw up above Neola. We were up there for 2 days, and then we went back another day, and then we had the old lake, is that what it was? We were up there, I don't remember. We went up there for 3 nights in a row and spent time up there, so a lot of those hours came in for those calls. Luckily, we didn't have those this past year, and hopefully things stay the same way this year. A lot of times when we don't have a lot of moisture, we worry about we're gonna have big call volume, but when we redid our wildland training this year, they said that doesn't happen because you don't have the moisture to make the grass grow tall. And so you don't have those grasses that are gonna cause fires as much.
How often do those contracts with the county come up? Is it like a 5-year term?
I believe
or
they're 5-year contracts.
5 years.
I know Duchesne County, we just renewed last year, and I'm not sure when UNS is due. The next one there is the percentage of runs per jurisdiction, and then percentage of man hours. Just for a breakdown, you can look at it, like I was saying, 48% of our runs were in the city, but only 29% of the man hours were in the city. So that's why we keep tracking it separate, like I was telling you, so when it comes time for the billing, we know where we're at. The next page, we just try and keep track for ourselves and the city. We have 7 trucks over in the bay. We want to make sure that the city knows, are looking at saying, why is that truck just sitting there? Why do we have that extra truck when it doesn't go anywhere? The one with the smallest numbers there is our extrication rescue truck. And our extrication call volume isn't what it used to be. But what we try to do is we try to run that truck on any hazmat spills. If we're close enough within the vicinity, if we do get an extrication call, we can run to that. So we try and keep that truck in circulation that way. 207, which is our aerial, is 24 years old this year. And so because we had the new pumper, we try to make sure we run that aerial on all of our alarm calls so that it's being used and not sitting there, and when we do need it, it won't do what it needs us to do. We need it to do. So our brush trucks fluctuate each year, and that just depends how they get parked back in this station. Because there's one in front of the other one, so if we have a call that only one truck goes, then that first truck's gonna go, and depending how they get parked back in the station is where that volume comes in. The next one, our busiest day last year was Tuesday. When I compared it with last year, Wednesday and Friday were both the same call volume. This year, Tuesday was our bigger day. I've been asked before why. I don't have an answer for why that one. And the next one is our hour. I don't have the answer for the hours either. Last year, 2 o'clock in the afternoon and 10 o'clock at night were our busiest times. I will say, as far as 2 in the afternoon, that's going to be, okay, here comes the wind, farmer already lit his field on, wind came, and we get called out. A lot of those are that time frame, so I can see why that is where it is. And then the last 2 there are just for the council's information. Per our bylaws, each firefighter has to maintain 75% training and 40% fire runs. And we keep track of that. And there's a committee on the fire department that meets quarterly, and they review those. And if there's somebody that's lagging a little bit behind that, they give them a little reminder, hey, you're falling behind, you need to step up a little bit. And so we keep track of that. Each firefighter, every month, gets what we call a report card. So every month they know where they're at from that month backwards. And that's it. I don't know if you have any other questions or anything else there.
What is the extent of your area, your service area?
So we go to the traffic light before Duchesne by the plaza. We go to, currently right now, and it's in the works of changing, but right now we go to 6,000 North up the Hill Highway, to Revolta Way to the west, and then to Lawrence Lane on the south side.
South side. Okay. Do you have any recommendations for your false alarms?
We did the one thing that we tried, hoping that that would help. You know, if they're getting a bill, oh, we ought to get this fixed. You just pay the bill and they don't worry about it. We did that in hopes that that would help them. And then the other part of it, like I said, we like did that training. I don't know how many people saw the video. Personally, I haven't seen it, I just had heard about it. But getting the knowledge out there to the public of changing your batteries and then checking the dates on those detectors and changing them out if they need it. I don't know. Were you able to get yours changed out? He was asking me the other day and we worked it all out, so. Yeah, great.
Very good. Thank you for your report. The only thing I had was like, I had to tilt my head to read everything.
Yeah, well, like Ryan, if you didn't know Ryan, we did that intentionally. Just
Hey, I would also
like scanning that way.
I'd like to also thank Chief and the firefighters for coming down and supporting the STEAM and I think that's really helpful for those kids to see the fire trucks and what you do and they did a great job, so I just want to
go down there, really enjoyed it, so.
Yeah, so I just want to thank them again, it's kind of fun. It's great for the kids, but I hope they have a good time too, so.
Yes, thank you for your time. I know it takes a lot of time. When we moved to Roosevelt from Neola, I was moving from the Neola Fire Department. It takes a lot of time and effort just to put in.
Training and certification, what needs to be besides the calls.
Thank you.
Appreciate the support that we get from you guys each time. And
thank you.
We appreciate your leadership, just looking over that the percentage of attendance for your firefighters, that all of them are meeting that 75% requirement. Maybe one that I saw, but I think that's a credit to your leadership.
Thanks. I will pass that credit where it needs to be. Our training officer gets everything set up and lined out and ready to go each year and make sure that's all happening, and Ryan does that for us. Appreciate everything that's there.
Thank you.
Okay,
Appreciate you guys.
Expenditure approval and financial review, we have that.
Before we move to that, can I just have you acknowledge for 8D that you are using the approval from 8B?
Oh,
8A.
8A and 8B or, yeah.
Yeah.
If you could
Yeah,
just.
I mentioned it, I guess it did, I just said 8D and 8A were the same.
The same
so
thing,
the
yeah.
acknowledgement was the
I
same.
need that in
Just for the minutes, will you just approve that, Mayor?
Do you need a motion?
Just Mayor acknowledging it, that's all I need.
Oh, okay, yes. We have acknowledged that the United States Army donations from 8D, that program, is also 8B, as in boy.
8A.
8A, the Roosevelt Memorial, Veterans Memorial.
So on my paper.
It's 8B on the official.
Oh,
My paper is different.
okay.
8A would be the golf course lease.
Okay.
That's why.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, mine is 8B and 8D is because.
Okay, whatever needs to happen.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Mayor, I would move we approve the financials, I didn't see anything as a problem.
We have a motion and a second to approve the financials. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Turn the time over to Josh.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The city manager report, I just want to hit 3 quick items. So one, I just would like to clarify, I was not joking when I said we had the greatest fire chief in the country here. And, of all the things I've seen in local government, I gotta tell you, one of the most incredible things is a volunteer fire department. Having individuals that are willing to risk their lives and do what they do is truly a testament to what community is all about. So I just want to tell them I appreciate them and how incredible they are and have our new firemen here as well tonight. So they truly are phenomenal. And Chief Lee is an incredible leader, as Councilman Hancock said. He's phenomenal. So grateful to have his leadership. Next, I would like to call council's attention to our cemetery. I'm glad Austin is here tonight. If you follow social media, you'll see that we've had quite a few positive posts about our cemetery. That is not very common. Typically, when things hit social media, they're for negative reasons, but we've had quite a few posts recently about how great our cemetery is looking and just the great work that he's doing down there. So I'd just like to acknowledge him and let you know what a wonderful job he's doing down there at the cemetery and helping that stay such a beautiful place. And then finally, these gentlemen in the back, I am so excited about this Veterans Memorial. Every time I look at Roosevelt City and I have to drive past Duchesne City and see their memorial, I just think, oh, I really wish we could do something here. And I gotta tell you, with this group of individuals that are heading this up, we know it's gonna happen. So Dan Karen, Gary Rohr, J.R. Berg, we've got some incredible individuals that we're gonna knock this out of the park. And what they've done with the silhouette in such a short amount of time, again, it's phenomenal. So I'm super excited about that. So thank you to these guys, because I'm so excited to see what happens there. Aircraft carrier, something like that.
There you go.
Look at something great.
Better start plowing some more dirt.
We can make it happen. But that's what I wanted to use my city manager report, just to call out these three groups for the phenomenal work they've been doing. It's just been great. Are there any questions for me?
I have one question. I was just wondering for the mayor, how did it feel to be a part of the second best fire department in Duchesne County?
You want me to answer?
We can wait till
I was just gonna ask you if you were ever on the fire department.
I was. Just kidding, Mayor.
That's a prerequisite, it sounds like now, right? To be on the fire department.
I think we need to have our mayor and our past mayor have an arm wrestling. Any questions?
No, appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Committee reports, any committee reports?
I have something if no one else does.
I don't.
I've talked about this last time too, but Interfaith Council has an Easter celebration they're doing on March 28th at the Nature Park. If there's people in the community that want to help, there's some places we could use help. And also in conjunction with that, on March 13th, with the help of the city, we're going to do a cleanup at the Nature Park starting at 10 a.m. if anyone wants to be a part of that.
Is that a Saturday?
March 13th is a Friday,
Friday.
and then March 28th, the day of the activity, is a Saturday. And we'll actually be closing the park on the 27th to set up for that. And then everyone is welcome to come on the 28th, and it's free.
And that'll be 10 to 2, is that correct?
10 to 2. Yep.
That's what I thought I remembered.
Kind of open house style, come anytime between that 10 and 2 time on the 28th.
Okay, any others? All right, any items for future discussion?
I have two, sorry, go ahead, Mr. Bake, I can wait. City cleanup, did we get a date on that? I know it's usually April, and sometimes it seems to catch us flat-footed. I know that Interfaith and others like to know about it. Some of the groups in the community like to know, so for service, that kind of stuff. So if we could get a date on the city cleanup. And so I don't care what day, just so that we're aware of that, what day they're kind of planning. And then also, I talked to Ryan earlier about with the situation with water, it'd be good, I think, to have some discussion on that, but I think we need to start I don't think we need to ration water, we're not to that point, definitely, but I think we need to maybe start educating people on being conservation minded, especially make sure we have enough for our firefighters if they're ever an issue, but also, that we have enough for our needs. And so I would hope that we would, I know talking to Ryan, he had like a little flyer or sign or flyer or something, maybe we need to, or send something out in the water bills, et cetera, just to, not that we have to ration, but just remind people to be, conservation minded with the drought situation we're in the state. Not just locally, but across the state, I think would be good. So anyway, those are only two things I have.
Mayor, if I can respond to that. Councilman, we do have our rural water conferences next week. And that's gonna be one of the main topics, is how we can do that, because we definitely wanna be proactive and get out after that. So, Councilman Goodrich has reached out as well. So yes, we will have plenty of discussion coming up in that to be prepared. Worst case scenario, even though hopefully we won't get there. As far as other future council items, I did want to mention, just so council is aware, we do have a concession stand meeting with boys baseball scheduled for tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. And so we'll bring that back for the next work session for council. But I did want to keep you in the loop that we are having that meeting, getting everybody together. And then I apologize, I do have one other city manager report item. We were, as a city, just awarded an $898,000 grant from the Joint Highways Board for 200 north to 400 north on State Street to redo that road. So we have been very fortunate. Mr. Claiborne does serve as a board member on Joint Highways Board, and Roosevelt has been very successful in receiving a lot of grant money, and so we're extremely grateful to Joint Highways. And we just did this, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? Just last week we were awarded this. So they took the top 8 projects, we came at number 8. So we got it in there, but we got it. So another great project with a lot of work we did.
What's the plan for that section, just because of the state going down the hill and?
Yeah, it's the same as the whole State Street project, resurfacing, fixing curb and sidewalk.
200 north to 400 north?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll complete State Street all the way from the south end to the north.
Wonderful. And as far as infrastructure, just to put on your radar, Mr. Wolfinger, our Public Works Director, has a very aggressive chip and seal program this year. So you will see approximately a quarter of our streets will get a extreme makeover and will look very good. So we have a lot of infrastructure coming this year that is much needed, but it will also help. So
thank you.
Thank you.
Closed session, do we have a need for a closed session? Yes, we do.
I move we go into closed session to discuss property. Is it property?
Yeah, can we adjourn as well?
And do we need to come back after though?
No, it's not on the agenda.
So I would move we go to closed session to discuss property acquisition and be adjourned at the conclusion of the closed session.
And I have a motion for property acquisition, and then we adjourn upon closed session ending.
I'll second that.
Is this individual for
Yes.
closed session?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we do have a second, and
Aye.
Aye.
we are now in closed session. Thanks, everybody. Do you want a break for a second?